On the ghost hunting show, the current It Girl actress casually flashed an insignia of the Mystic Order. She frowned at me. You've had an abortion? There's an infant spirit latched onto you. Suddenly, news that she was the heir to the Mystic Order was all over the internet. And I was getting dragged online, trending for all the wrong reasons. You can tell just by looking at Sarah she sleeps around, but to have a death in her womb and still dare to go ghost hunting? Messy private life. Get her out of Hollywood, ASAP. No one saw. In a dark corner, I gently poked the infant spirit's cheek. Stop crying. Is that your mom? All right, go find her tonight then. My name is Sarah. On the surface, I'm a C-list nobody in showbiz. In reality, I'm the 999th heir to the Mystic Order. Because my room is filled with cinnabar and yellow talismans, and I'm always muttering to myself, my agent once thought I was nuts. Until the company decided to produce a ghost hunting show, inviting an It Girl actress and an A-list heartthrob to live stream an exploration of a haunted mansion. My agent had a lightbulb moment and snagged a spot for me. With your looks, it's a crime you're not famous. You might be a little kooky, but on this show, it's perfect for crafting an image. I placed 3 incense sticks into the burner, lit them, and the smoke billowed straight up. The founding masters themselves had nodded their approval. How could I object? I was packed up, props and all, and sent to the production team. On the first day of the live stream, I was already trending. Unfortunately, the topic wasn't what my agent had hoped for. Hashtag Sarah the Mystic. Instead, it was hashtag Sarah the Copycat and hashtag Sarah the Clone. Introductions went by order of popularity, so naturally, I was dead last. Right off the bat, the It Girl Linda gave the camera a sweet smile. She waved the compass, cinnabar, and yellow talismans in her hand. Don't worry, sweeties, I'll protect everyone. The live chat exploded. OMG. The Mystic Order has been in decline for nearly a century. Its art's almost lost, and Linda knows them? Linda is so amazing. Beautiful, kind, a great actress, she can do anything. Whoa, I heard a new genius emerged in the Mystic Order a couple of years ago, a woman. Could it be Linda? I couldn't help but stare at Linda's face. I didn't recall anyone like her in my order. Who's the Sarah next to her? Seriously, how can someone who looks like that be a nobody in Hollywood? My take. She's nothing compared to our Linda. She keeps staring at our Linda. Is she planning something shady? When it was my turn, I had just pulled my compass from my cloth bag. The chat blew up. I just said this girl was pretty, take it back. Total copycat. Who knows how long a clone will last? Trying to ride our Linda's coattails? Desperate for fame much. A flash of schadenfreude across Linda's face. But when the camera turned to her, she immediately switched to a gentle smile. Her voice was sugary sweet. Sweeties, please don't fight. A lot of people are into our Mystic Order these days. Sarah is probably just a fan. It's totally normal. Don't trash her on my account, okay? I frowned deep in thought. Did I hear her right? She said our Mystic Order? The Mystic Order was hers? Then who was I? Taunting comments scrolled past one after another. The A-list actor next to me, Ethan, seemed a bit uncomfortable. His cool gaze fell on my compass. Looks like it has some age to it. It's a good piece. Good eye. I nodded in approval, noticing a dark aura around his forehead. He had some trouble coming his way. Since he spoke up for me, after the live stream, I'd give him a small discount and help him out. OMG, why is my bae defending that bitch? Ethan belongs with Linda. Sarah's been all over him since she got here. No shame. So trashy. Turns out Ethan and Linda were a popular ship, and their fans were loving it. I glanced at the chat and frowned. I just arrived on set, didn't know anyone, and Ethan was the first person to greet me. I'd given a polite smile back. How did that turn into me throwing myself at him? You can't buy items from our Mystic Order just anywhere. Linda glanced at my compass dismissively. If it wasn't picked out of a dumpster, it must be an antique. The chat immediately chimed in with agreement. Unexpectedly, Ethan spoke up for me again. That's too far. Just 3 words, straight to the point. Linda, who had been looking cool and collected, bit her lip, a wronged expression on her face. The live chat went wild. Ethan, what are you saying? You'll be groveling later, just wait. My family knows a bit about this stuff. That thing in Sarah's hand is definitely not ordinary. Trash Sarah, get out of Hollywood. Sweeties, don't be mad. The truth will come out when the show starts. Trust Linda to handle it. The imposter won't last long, don't worry. In just over 10 minutes, the live stream's popularity had already topped the charts. Related topics basically flooded social media. Linda heir to the Mystic Order. Linda and Ethan. Sarah the fraud. Can't wait to see Sarah fail. Sarah get out of Hollywood. Thanks to this show, I, who had never trended before, managed to snag 3 trending topics at once. After the introductions, the show officially began. Today's task was for everyone to explore a haunted mansion on the outskirts of the city, abandoned for years. Linda picked up her things and walked at the front, her steps decisive and sharp. Fans started spamming, "Linda is awesome. With Linda here, I feel so safe." Hold on. In front of the haunted mansion, Linda stopped and gestured for everyone to halt. She looked around, her expression growing serious. Someone definitely died here. There's a powerful ghost. It's very dangerous. I followed her gaze. The supposedly century-old haunted mansion's grand courtyard was spotless. Not a trace of negative energy. Linda held her compass in her left hand, made mystic hand signs with her right, and muttered something. The chat was going wild. What kind of skill is it to tell someone died here with just one look? Oh no, Linda knows everything. I'm not saying who's jealous. I focused, trying to hear, but all I could make out was endless Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh, I thought I'd run into a fellow practitioner out in the wild. Turns out she's a fake. Seriously. The live stream camera promptly captured my disgusted expression. Everyone immediately got upset. Hey, what's with Sarah's face? Can I interpret that as her looking down on our Linda? Linda glanced at the chat, then turned, her expression cool. You don't have to believe, but please show some respect. She casually flexed her wrist, revealing a red string bracelet under her sleeve. The red string was intricately woven, connected in the middle by a gold bead. Most importantly, the character Mystic was engraved on the gold bead. The live chat erupted. OMG, OMG, what am I seeing? Isn't that the insignia of the heir to the Mystic Order? Linda's true identity can't be hidden anymore. It's reveal time, a high society lady of the mystic world. I quietly squeezed my own wrist, feeling the round gold bead. My expression became even more complicated. Just last month, the elders had given me this newly crafted insignia. This month, a knockoff was already out and about. The counterfeiters, you guys are really something. I'll go first later and deal with the powerful ghost. Linda said calmly, don't be afraid. I can protect you all. The other guests stared at the red string on Linda's wrist, their faces full of gratitude. They all said, all right, we're counting on Linda to carry us. In the middle of the night, in a desolate haunted mansion, even the most scientific-minded person would be a little spooked. Having someone knowledgeable present was like a reassuring presence. Only I was lost in thought. If she's a fake, what happens if we encounter real danger? Thinking of this, I decisively raised my hand. I'll go up front with you. No. Linda retorted almost without thinking. You'll only slow me down if you're next to me. The fans were amused too. LOL, what's that Sarah witch doing touching her wrist? Fantasizing she has one too? I told you, imposters don't last long. Forcing herself to go. Hope she doesn't end up dead in there. Malicious comments scrolled past, one after another. The clock hands quietly pointed to 11. The witching hour, when negative energy was strongest, had arrived. In the empty courtyard, black mist began to churn and gather. Beneath the black mist, footprints appeared one by one in the soil. Judging by the size, it was a child. Good, not too difficult to handle. A piece of cake. However, everyone present looked normal, no one could see it. Except Linda. She seemed to sense something and frowned. Isn't she a fake? How can she sense negative energy? I was secretly surprised. Then I saw her frown at me and ask, Sarah, there's an infant spirit latched onto you. You've had an abortion? Her words dropped, and the scene erupted. The director got excited, signaling the crew to point all cameras at me. In the live chat, the comments, for once, were uniformly silent for a full second. Then they exploded. Oh my God, an infant spirit? Does that mean what I think it means? LOL, Sarah tried to be clever and it backfired spectacularly. Came here to build a persona, and Linda aired out all her dirty laundry. You can tell by her look she sleeps around, but to have a death in her womb and still dare to go ghost hunting? What kind of person is she? Messy private life. Get her out of Hollywood. Sorry, I didn't mean to reveal your private matter. Linda looked nonchalant. But a life is at stake. I'll help you deal with it later. Fans spammed the chat, moved by her kindness. Nice one, using me to build her image. I turned and glanced at the people present. Everyone's forehead had a more or less dark aura, and Linda's was the worst. In the corner, the already formed infant spirit was staring intently at her. Seemingly realizing I could see it, the infant spirit froze, warily sizing me up. It didn't dare take another step. I studied it carefully, and instantly understood. I turned to Linda, my tone calm. I've never been pregnant. You on the other hand, Miss Linda. There was a child, with broken arms and legs, not a single piece of good flesh on its body. Its eyes were gouged out, lips and tongue cut off. Do you recognize it? The infant spirit in the corner flinched. What I described was the torture it had endured before death. In an instant, it shrieked, an overwhelming black energy erupting from it. It was almost visible to the naked eye. What is that? Everyone looked at the courtyard in disbelief. Even the chat was stunned. Where did that black mist come from? My God, is it on fire? So much black smoke. I swiftly made hand signs and chanted, soothing its resentful energy. Meanwhile, Linda also took out a talisman, dotted her brush with cinnabar, and moved it rapidly across the paper. The dense black mist gradually dissipated. Another A-list young actor on the stream, his face flushed, said excitedly, "Oh my God, Linda, you're too amazing. This is the first time I've seen someone from the Mystic Order in person. No need to thank me." Linda smiled gently and nodded. This is just part of our duty. In the live chat, fans went into a frenzy. See, I told you that imposter Sarah wouldn't last long. If she knows mystic arts, why didn't she do anything? She didn't even take out a talisman. Means she doesn't know anything, just using props to build an image. Linda is still the best. First time seeing someone draw a talisman live, what an honor. Linda's talisman. It was just her scribbling on talisman paper with cinnabar, no spiritual power at all. Worse than my kindergarten drawings. My mouth twitched. I was speechless. The chat filled with sympathy for Linda. Sarah's making that face again. Who's she trying to impress? Unlike some people who just put on a show, Linda really put in the effort. Her face is all pale. Feel so bad for her, wah. She's beautiful and badass, the goat. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. What a load of crap. It was just now, when I was describing the infant spirit's death. With every word, Linda's face turned a shade paler. She clearly recognized this infant spirit. Besides those injuries, the top of the infant spirit's skull had a small hole drilled into it, filled with mercury. It was a dark magic ritual to change luck, by raising a little ghost. I knew what was up, my expression hardening. What goes around comes around, Miss Linda. You'd better be careful. The guests present didn't understand this cryptic remark. Their gazes shifted back and forth between me and Linda. One was an it-girl actress with endless resources. The other was an unknown C-lister, speaking nonsensically and acting kooky. Except for Ethan, everyone else instinctively moved a step behind Linda. It's you who should be careful, Miss Sarah. Linda said helplessly, deciding the fate of a child is your freedom. But at the very least, you should find someone to chant scriptures to help it pass on, so it doesn't linger in the human world, unable to reincarnate. I know you don't want people to find out about this, but compared to a small life, is fame really that important? I nodded. You're right. I hope you remember what you're saying now. LOL, I guess that confirms it. First time seeing someone try to build a persona and have it blow up in their face. Linda, YYDS forever the best. No one saw, in the courtyard. As Linda finished speaking, the infant spirit grew restless again. I could help it move on right now. But there was no need. Clearly, Linda didn't actually believe in the existence of mystic arts. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done something so wrong and still dared to come ghost hunting. She thought I was just a plant from the company, a foil to make her look good. She didn't know I was the true heir to the Mystic Order. Nor could she see the infant spirit, seething with black energy in the corner, eyeing her like prey. I'm afraid there's a good show coming up. Out of professional ethics. I took out my compass and showed them the wildly spinning needle. The mansion isn't clean right now. Are you sure you want to go in? Everyone looked at each other. The chat immediately burst out laughing. OMG, my toes are cringing so hard for Sarah. I could build a mansion. Can someone shut Sarah up? What's with stating the obvious now? Linda said from the start there was a powerful ghost in the mansion, and now she says it's not clean? Trying to save face after a failed attempt to look cool. I'm dying of laughter. I get it, she's scared, right? Don't say that, person above. I'm actually a little scared too. The live stream suddenly paused. Sarah, what the hell are you doing? If you don't go in, what am I supposed to film? The director yelled impatiently, film if you want or get out. I asked you to be on the show, not to sabotage it. At this point, the live stream had only been going for half an hour, but its popularity had already shot to #1. It had also snagged several trending topics. And yet, I was advising everyone not to enter the haunted mansion. If you're scared, you can choose to leave the live stream. Linda smiled. If the chat asks later, we'll just say you got sick. No one will laugh at you for being a coward. While the stream was paused, she leaned in, her voice very low but fiercely sharp. I don't know how you found out about that thing. But loose lips sink ships. You know what you should and shouldn't say. It really was her. She knew that tragically deceased child. But she didn't know it had followed her all the way to the set. Fine. You can't reason with a ghost bent on its own destruction. Since that was the case, I gracefully stepped aside. Then let's go. The live stream resumed. The production team's explanation was that the equipment ran out of battery, and they were switching to a backup. No one suspected a thing. The group proceeded grandly through the courtyard and arrived at the front of the haunted mansion. Linda bent down, reached out, and opened the rusty copper lock on the mansion's front door. Click. The lock opened. A chilling wind blew past. Creak. The crimson-red main door slowly opened a crack. Just like the infant spirit's mouth, gradually splitting into a grin behind her. Due to years of abandonment, the mansion had long since had its water and electricity cut off. Our only light source was the flashlights in our hands. The live stream picture instantly dimmed. Whoa, not gonna lie, this is creepy. Are there really ghosts? Duh, Linda is the heir to the Mystic Order. Why would she lie to you? The furniture in the mansion was all covered with white cloths. In the living room, moss and wild mushrooms even grew in the cracks between the marble floor tiles. Before we could get a good look, a strange wind suddenly gusted from the doorway. Slam. The door shut. Someone with less courage let out a short, sharp scream. It's okay, don't be afraid. It's that powerful ghost I mentioned earlier, making trouble. It can't beat me, so it resorts to these little tricks to scare everyone. Linda struck a protective pose. She stood calmly at the head of the group, smiling gently at the camera. Sweeties, don't worry, I'll protect everyone. And for those of you who are easily scared, don't worry, the production team will provide a thoughtful jump scare warning. There won't be any terrifying scenes. The chat filled with exclamations of appreciation. Linda's the best, so considerate. Who understands the value of an heir to the Mystic Order? Feels like even the scariest ghost wouldn't be a problem. Sob, I'm so proud to be a fan of such a beautiful and kind Linda. What about that Sarah who claims to know mystic arts too? Everyone searched through the multicam views in the live stream and finally found me. I was standing at the very back of the group, head tilted up, looking at the ceiling with great interest. Just now, standing at the back, I had a clear view. Under the cover of darkness, a crew member tiptoed behind me, trying to close the door. Unexpectedly, a gust of wind slammed it shut first. The crew member froze for a moment, thought it was just a freak gust, and quietly slipped back into the group. But I suddenly understood. The production team's ghost hunt was a sham. Helping Linda build her persona was the real goal. No doubt there would be many more tricks to let Linda show off her mystic skills. Just like the churning black mist in the courtyard earlier. She probably thought that was also arranged by the production team. No one knew about the infant spirit's existence. Naturally, no one knew it had followed us inside. After locking the door, it zipped up to the chandelier on the ceiling, its dark eye sockets staring intently at us. After Linda said she would protect us, it giggled. My expression was also complicated. Protect us? Was Linda sure? Previously, The infant spirit hadn't dared to approach because it realized I could see it. Seeing that I hadn't done anything to it, it was now testing the waters, shortening the distance between us. Now it was getting closer and closer. Let me say something first. Everyone, please don't go ghost hunting casually just to satisfy your curiosity. It's very dangerous. Facing the camera, Linda patiently explained, there are many things in this world that are beyond human comprehension. For example, mystic arts do exist. We don't have to believe in them, but we must hold them in reverence. Next, Linda closed her eyes, seemingly sensing the aura of the place. Her voice was sweet and melodious as she narrated. A happy family of 3 once lived here. Later, vicious criminals targeted this place, intending to rob them, but ended up causing their innocent deaths. I will first help their souls pass on, sending them to reincarnation. As she finished speaking, the chat buzzed with discussion. Look at camera 3. There's a dust-covered photo in the corner. It looks like 3 people. Seriously, being able to tell what happened 100 years ago just by closing her eyes? Isn't Linda a bit too awesome? Occasionally, doubtful voices chimed in. This haunted mansion, though secluded and not very famous, you can still find some old stories about it online if you search carefully. But they were quickly swarmed by others. Person above, are you kidding? Wasn't that black mist just now enough to prove Linda's power? You'd wise up after spending 2 nights in a haunted mansion. After Linda finished talking about helping the souls pass on, her gaze casually fell on my face for 2 seconds. The chat went silent for a moment, then immediately erupted again. OMG, Linda's subtle glance. I suddenly get what she means. Linda promised to help Sarah with her child's spirit earlier. Since it's a private matter, it's not good to bring it up in front of everyone. That look was a hint to Sarah that she'll still help. Sob, Linda is too nice. That's class. Messy private life. This Sarah can get lost after this show. The next second, in full view of everyone, bloodstains suddenly seeped from the wall, trickling down, writing character by character. Give me back my life. Everyone present was quiet. They were all shrewd. They knew the production team's setup. Linda took out a talisman, once again dotted her brush with cinnabar, and wrote a charm on it. The talisman was lifeless, no spiritual energy in the ink. But the bloodstains gradually disappeared. You have to admit, the effect was quite realistic. The production team really went all out. The previously quiet chat started scrolling again. Oh my god, Mom's asking why I'm watching TV on my knees. Let's be real, Linda is the heiress of the mystic world. Thinking about it, Linda is really low-key. She's kept her identity as the heir to the mystic order a secret for so many years. Otherwise she'd definitely be even more famous. Sob, sob, sob. Linda looked indifferent. People of the mystic order are not attached to such worldly possessions. My mouth twitched. Then, a piercing laugh echoed through the quiet room. Overhead, the chandelier swayed with the laughter, its arc growing wider and wider. Because its tongue had been cut out, the infant spirit could only make muffled sounds. Go die. Creak. The chandelier suddenly came loose, plummeting straight towards Linda. No one was hurt, because at the last moment I pushed Linda out of the way. If the infant spirit truly harmed Linda and caused her death, it would never be able to enter reincarnation. You should understand that, I said to the infant spirit. Unexpectedly, it wasn't angry. Instead, it cowered in the corner, sniffling and shedding tears. Sigh, this was a bit awkward. I had no experience with kids either. How do you comfort a crying child? While I was looking conflicted, the production team members were already carefully helping Linda up. Her calf was scraped, and blood was steadily oozing from the wound. The chat exploded. OMG, OMG, what kind of safety measures does this production team have? Is Sarah nuts? After pushing Linda, she doesn't even help her up, just talks to thin air. Linda's hurt. I'm heartbroken. Wah. Damn that Sarah bitch. Pushing Linda on purpose. Why wasn't she the one who got hit? This time, however, a few more people spoke up for me. Person above, you're going too far. Sarah might be annoying, but if she hadn't pushed Linda, imagine the consequences if that thing hit her. Yeah, I admit I was a bit harsh on Sarah earlier. So what if she had an abortion? Maybe she was tricked by a scumbag? The chat started arguing, and for a moment, the live stream's popularity topped the charts again. The director was grinning so wide his mouth almost couldn't close. After her wound was treated, Linda looked up and said awkwardly, "Thanks." But I ignored her. While everyone's flashlights were on Linda, I poked the infant spirit's cheek. "Hey kiddo, don't be mad. Is she your mom? It's okay. As long as you don't harm her, I'll pretend I saw nothing." 3 years ago, Linda debuted, but she made no waves in the entertainment industry, like a stone sinking into the sea. She came from a poor family and had no connections. Bullied by colleagues and groped by a handsy director, she resolved to climb to the top by any means necessary. She latched onto a sugar daddy and 2 years later, became pregnant with his child. This child came at just the right time. For the past 2 years, the sugar daddy's business had been declining. He heard about dark magic from somewhere. Raising a little ghost could help revive his business, preferably his own flesh and blood. I sighed. So, pitiful people often have their hateful side. Receiving my promise, the little ghost instantly stopped crying. It tried to force a smile at me. Good. You good? Mama bad. No sooner said than done. When Linda had rested and stood up to resume the live stream, the little ghost zipped behind her and tugged at her dress. And so, in full view of everyone, Linda stumbled, almost falling again. "Sarah, you." She thought I was behind it again and turned around angrily, only to find me standing with everyone else, 10 feet away. Behind her, a chilling wind blew, carrying a ghostly giggle to everyone's ears. "Hee hee mama." Where the little ghost had just tugged her dress, a black handprint was clearly visible. The live chat exploded, with everyone praising Linda. Whoa, judging by the hand size, it really is a child. Linda is so awesome, everything she said was right. Oh my god, this is a bit scary. I pledge allegiance to the flag. At the same time, a nursery rhyme suddenly started playing in the room, very eerie, echoing for a long time. The tune was too familiar. Linda's face turned paler and paler. It was the prenatal music she used to play most often when she was pregnant. The people present looked at each other. Remembering the production team's setup, they instinctively hid behind Linda. "It's okay everyone, don't worry. Watch Linda exorcise the ghost." Is that the child Sarah aborted? Oh my god, how can she hide behind Linda like that? Linda's the goat. A mere little ghost, she'll take it down. But Linda's hand holding the talisman trembled more and more. Her voice quavered as she asked, Who pushed me just now?" The chat unanimously replied, "Linda, it's that infant spirit you mentioned. Let's teach it a lesson." When Linda goes to battle, no ghost stands a chance. She glanced at the chat, her pretty face even paler. She asked us again who exactly pushed me? The other guests looked at each other, suddenly unsure what the production team had actually planned. Did Linda fake a fall? And then a dramatic reversal, subduing the little ghost? A convoluted and unconvincing exorcism? Click. Before entering, we were all equipped with flashlights. Now one by one they flickered out. The haunted mansion plunged into complete darkness. The eerie children's voices grew closer. This isn't in the script. Beside me, the A-list young actor, who had been calmly praising Linda earlier, whispered, trembling, "Is this in your script?" Ethan interjected, his tone grave. "No. Me." So, I was the only one without a script? Doesn't a C-lister's life matter? The production crew also panicked. This clearly wasn't their plan. The director swallowed hard, wanting to run. But it was pitch black all around, and he was afraid of bumping into something. The chat was still going. "Oh my god, why is it all dark? So scary. Good thing Linda is here. It's time for our mystic heiress Linda to shine. Go Linda, show them what you're made of." All the camera feeds flickered with static, and then went dead. Holy crap, are there really ghosts? The A-list young actor gasped, realizing this wasn't the production team's setup, but a genuine paranormal event. Everyone started screaming and scrambling towards the door. I'm dying of anxiety. Why can I only hear sounds? Crappy production team. Is their equipment this bad? I won't be able to sleep tonight if I don't see Linda's badass ghost-busting moves. Aha! Wait, among those screams, does it sound like Linda's in there too? Idiot. Linda is the heir to the mystic order. How could she be scared by a little ghost trick? She still needs to help it pass on. How could she run? Anyone who says that about Linda is officially kicked out of the fan club. What kind of person are you, to even be a fan of our Linda? Everyone ran around the living room like headless chickens, screaming chaotically. Forget the equipment, forget their pride. Help! Aya. Director cut. Call cut. People were yelling all sorts of things. The sounds were chaotic and noisy, but they couldn't drown out Linda's ear-splitting scream. Aya aya waya. Who's pulling me? Giggle. The little ghost, giggling, playfully tugged at her dress on and off. It leaned close to her ear. Mama. Why didn't you want me? I stood there looking down. I calmly waved my hand, and the discarded live stream equipment flickered back to life. A faint light emanated from the device's screen. The footage showed Linda, a complete mess, fallen on the ground. Her arms, her legs, any exposed skin, were covered in purplish handprints. Whoa, what happened to Linda? Are those a child's handprints? OMG, is this a live stream accident? Wait, didn't Linda say Sarah had an abortion? Why isn't this child haunting Sarah instead of Linda? Some die-hard fans in the chat were still resisting. You guys don't get it. Linda is the strongest one here. Right, if the little ghost takes down Linda, this whole group is done for. OMG, there are so many people on the production team. Will something happen? Should we call the cops? The black mist continued to condense and churn. Overhead, the incandescent lights, which had been off for a long time, suddenly began to flicker. After flickering, they lit up completely. The room was instantly as bright as day. So everyone in the live chat could see clearly. Linda had fallen to the ground, all traces of the cool it girl actress gone. Tears and snot mixed together, streaming down her face. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was your father, Don, who killed you. You were the child I carried with such difficulty. Mommy didn't want to lose you either. Don, a famous big shot producer in the industry, was already married with a happy family. But from what Linda was saying, the child was hers and Don's? The guests were all stunned. The chat also went silent. After a moment. What is Linda talking about? Does Linda mean what I think she means? So the one who had an abortion wasn't Sarah, but her? The glaring lights pulled Linda back to reality. The black mist formed by the little ghost had quietly dispersed. Everything felt like a dream. Linda froze, frantically wiping the mess from her face. She had a sudden idea and pointed at me. Sarah, why are you trying to frame me? Mimi? This woman still wouldn't give up. That little ghost is yours. That's why you know its cause of death so clearly. You're jealous of my status, so you used the darkness to have that little ghost attack me. You embarrassed me and slandered me. I will pursue legal action against you. Linda's face was cold. Word by word. Just now, I was possessed by the little ghost you raised. I wasn't in my right mind. You made the ghost say all those things. Me? Did she think there were no ghosts when the lights were on? I clapped my hands. The black mist immediately recondensed, forming the little ghost shape. It giggled and started tugging at her dress again. Mama, you don't recognize me? Ah. Linda fell to the ground again, screaming, it was Don who harmed you, not me. The guests were silent. The chat was also silent. What goes around comes around, Miss Linda. I told you. I slowly rolled up my sleeve, revealing the red string bracelet that signified the heir to the Mystic Order. You claim to be the heir to the Mystic Order. How could you not even know you've been followed by a little ghost for so long? It was only because she'd heard that members of the Mystic Order didn't engage with the secular world. That's why Linda came up with this unique persona to attract a wave of fans. All to build hype for her upcoming fantasy drama. But she never expected that the Mystic Order was getting poorer and poorer. As the heir, if I didn't re-enter the world, everyone in the Order would be broke along with me. You're the heir to the Mystic Order? Linda was stunned. She looked at the little ghost, then at me. Finally, she just fainted. Perhaps she didn't want to face reality. Linda remained unconscious for 3 whole days and nights. When she woke up, she clung to a sliver of hope, thinking her sugar daddy had already handled the situation. Instead, she found her name still plastered all over the trending topics. Linda and Don. Linda infant spirit. Linda get out of Hollywood. Linda fan club admins bailed. All her fans had unfollowed her. Her account, which once had tens of millions of followers, now had only a handful. I, on the other hand, was the opposite. In 3 days, I gained tens of millions of followers. People rewatched the live stream with a magnifying glass, and finally discovered that the one who had acted in the courtyard wasn't Linda. It was me. Damn it. Who the hell said our Master Sarah was an imposter? Looking at the chat now, stan culture is terrifying. How could Linda have the nerve to say that about our Master Sarah when she's like that herself? My previous social media post offering free palm readings had been ridiculed by people in the industry. Now the comment section was flooded, with no shortage of celebrities from all walks of life. Master Sarah, please read mine. My heartless reply. I'm charging now. Although the ghost hunting show was completely shut down, the payment still came through as promised. But it wasn't quite enough to support everyone in the Mystic Order. So time to start earning money, beginning with palm readings. Half a month later, Linda's case was thoroughly investigated. Don was ruthless, and Linda had been involved in many illegal activities with him. The two of them nicely ended up in jail. What awaited them was the judgment of the law. After several days of chanting and purification, the overwhelming black energy around the little ghost grew fainter. It also regained its innocent and adorable appearance from before it was harmed. Finally, it was time to send it to reincarnation. Thank you, sister, but I don't want to go. It looked at me timidly. Can I stay and be your sidekick? Huh. I refused outright. No. The little ghost's face immediately fell. A quick divination told me, after you reincarnate and are born again, you'll still have a connection with me. Go on, don't worry. We'll meet again. Only then did it reluctantly step into the circle of light. Goodbye, sister. I ruffled its little head. See you later. As night fell, my phone rang. Master Sarah. Ethan's usually calm voice was a little tense. Lately, I keep hearing someone singing opera in my dreams. And when I'm zoning out at home, his throat tightened involuntarily. I think. I've also seen a woman in an opera costume. Oh right. I'd seen that dark aura on his forehead earlier and planned to help him. Almost forgot. Alright, I'm on my way. I readily agreed. I'll give you a small discount. The entire Mystic Order was waiting to be fed. From now on, I had to work hard to earn more money. The end.